that we have roughly around 4.5 millions of small and medium companies. And of course, large companies, large number of startups we have in India. And the number of startups is just growing. They are hungry for capital, technology, innovation, and they are badly hit by the COVID-19 lockdown. What would be your advice to them, particularly the SME, MSME, and the startups to accelerate and growth?
We need to group them. We need to group them by domain, group them by clusters, make sure that they can recognize that they are strong when they come together. It's not necessary to actually merge. Virtual mergers are good enough. Resources will need to be provided to this sector. And what are these resources? Access to technology, access to research, debt, and equity. It is extremely possible, very, very easy to do if the mind is made up. A contribution by the sovereign to a fund to support these resource requirements of the MSME sector. If that is seeded by, say, the government of India and the state governments in smaller measure, then we could have a conjoined large fund which is multi-sovereign, which will enable all of this to happen. And if they can do a first loss guarantee for 75% of the debt, then the kind of momentum to lend to this sector by the financial institutions can be significantly enhanced. And the entire cycle of making sure that these impaired organizations can get back on their feet can be set in motion. The resettlement of these activities, proximate to where the available labor is another opportunity which has opened up, because it is now becoming important to make sure that people can live in communities that they feel safe in and are able to work in clusters in a manner that they can live in a proper way, make sure that they have the right kind of housing and move towards their work back and forth with the ease that everybody wants. Cash flows need to be released to these MSMEs, starting from everything that is stuck up at the highest level, which could be a big business, which could be the government, has to percolate down through the entire supply chain so that the cycle of cash starts rotating. Manufacturing at the SME level. Today, technology has made it possible to buy additive manufacturing driven machinery at affordable costs. And if we can do a proof of concept for, let's say, 1,000 locations in India, where this kind of machinery is brought in and a cluster of MSMEs is given the task of making sure that highly efficient manufacturing starts getting done using augmented manufacturing, using 3D printing. This is the time that through the fund that we talked about, if this kind of availability is actually put in place, we can see a transformational change for the long run. Not only will the demand in the domestic market be fulfilled, but also the demand for international markets. High quality, ready to use, made to order products and services can be produced using this additive manufacturing, augmented manufacturing. And because of the scale that can be achieved, Manufacturing 4.0 can build through the whole value chain from the MSMEs to the large businesses. And this can be an opportunity to make sure that the growth of India, the backbone of India, the MSMEs, can be brought back to health. 7 things need to be done to create this virtuous cycle. Make sure that the workforce is healthy. Make sure that they have cash. Make sure their costs are low. Make sure the technology is available to them. They are well organized. They're organized in the right kind of cluster. Collaborative processes are put in place using technology which is available, and making sure that the human aspect is fully taken into account in the revival of the MSME.